and welcome to another episode from the Demon Overlord. Today is the second part of what, if you watch my craft of my AC More Trip video, this is the second stuff. So these are all the things I've been working on lately. I thought I'd give you all like a nice little taste of what I've been working on, maybe give you some ideas, or if you want to know like any other questions, always enter in the comments down below if you got a question, or if you want to, or if there's something you may want me to go over, like maybe you want me to do a collections video, like show off a bunch of miniatures I have, like giants, or dragons, or dinosaurs, or whatever. Goblins, humans, that kind of stuff. So first, I'm going to show you the first resin product I recently did. And that is this nice little pond right here, with a little bit of a liquid going over there. As you can see, I did put some skulls in there. And hard to get them to show up. There we go. Put a couple little Citadel skulls. These are ones of skulls that were really poorly painted, in my opinion. But as you can see, a nice little bit there. We got a little bit of pop. Nice little pool. Solid as a rock, which I love that. And it got that nice color. Nice swirly color. Like, it's not a uniform color. It's got that weird, like, swirl through there, which I wasn't sure how I did that. But, it looks really cool. So I'm going to keep this off the side here. We're going to make some of the resin towards you. There you go. Just so you people get to enjoy my work as much as possible. I'm not that narcissistic, trust me. Sorry if it sounds that way. Let me see here. We're going to go with the next piece. So I know in the last video I talked about a foam pad, this right here. Here is what I've recently done with the second one. And I want to give a shout out to Black Magic Craft. His Mod Podge paint technique is where I saw it from. So if it was from somewhere else that he got it from, sorry for that person, but I'm only going to give him credit since he's the one who's been using it. As you can see, this foam is a lot stronger. I actually got to put some effort to actually kind of bend it quickly. I mean, you could dent it, but why do that? It actually feels very similar to the foam mats you put your knees on. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing that because it's probably still going to dent this. I think I did this with about 3 or so coats. And I did use a black one originally on all the sides, and then I covered it with a Mod Podge mixed with the gray. And I think this is a granite gray? Yeah, I think it's granite gray. Because I know the darker gray was pewter, so I used granite gray for this just to make a nice, very bright color. And we'll keep this right around here just because, And this is actually supposed to go on top of it. Now, if you remember my last video, I said 2 rings. These are the 2 rings. They actually got a lot harder. They were that silly foam stuff too, where you could rip stuff off the edge. You can probably still do it a little bit on here, but once you hit with some Mod Podge layering, I'd say about 2 or 3 layers as well. I did glue them together, so they're already one big layer. See, here's the one side, since it's the bottom, it's going to go right here. I'm going to glue it down on top of this as best I can to being as centers again. And as you can see, it makes a nice ring. The bigger ring I had in the other video is going to go on top of that for a standing area / area for all the spectators to look down in the pit. At some point, I'll be putting even spikes in there. I'm going to try and make some spike-type things to go in there. So, if the character tries to climb out, they got to deal with spike damage and stuff, or it keeps them in. That way the animals don't just jump out instead of fighting, the people. And you got a lot of space there, as you can see. It's a pretty good amount of space. You can have a huge gargantuan monster fight some smaller creatures, or 2 huge monsters fighting out, a couple large monsters, or something like that. Pretty cool, in my opinion, it came out really great. I plan to do this with the other one, too, just so I have more of these. They're pretty useful to have those big squares. And like I said before, it's time to look at my dice shakers. Poured resin, just some simple red resin, Pop it open here. Boom, put however many dice you want there for this potion. Let's see, this is the bronze, so this would be just 2 for being the lowest potion. So, put my 2 D4s. I gotta get D4s to go in them now. I need enough crystalline red D4s. Or just plain red D4s. I'm not really sure which one yet, but let's see if I can get all 3 of them up here. There we go. That's the 3 of them. We got bronze, silver, and the gold. So, this one's going to be a twofer. It's going to be you put 2 extra dice in there for the best healing potion, 8 in it normally. And it might be a little tight there, but you know what? It'll work. They're going to be shakers nonetheless, and that's cool. Moving on. For terrain-wise, I did recently get done with this cave here. And I recently got this fish actually today, and I just fell in love with how I came out with this. I mean, I got some nice little hanging foam or hanging moss here. A little bit of some this brownish grass flocking to act as a little bushish. Got some over here, a little over here. I got tons of texturing going on. I got some little slab layers. You got sometimes with rocks, and you got I just went crazy. I made all 3 of them different. I actually added a little miniature hideout here where you could have minis of the medium size and smaller hide inside there. Well, maybe if a large creature is sitting there or something bigger, like a huge class. So maybe I don't know, an adult rock that's not fully gargantuan yet could be sitting there just taking cover in the rain. And you want to join it in there because you see this little cliffside area you can hide under where you're out of his range, but yet, you know, you can still hide in there out of the rain. Got moss on the other side. I also got this little glue spot there. You can see I actually did that on purpose, so it actually looked like it's wet, which it should do that. Let's see if I get this. Zoom in there. There we go. Yeah, a little bit of some liquid hot glue, and then letting it dry. But really, honestly, that was a really great cave. It came out fantastically. I love this cave. I just love it. And now moving on to miniatures. Because I think that's the last thing I've recently been working on, really. Other than my big board, but it's not finished yet, so. So this miniature I've had done for a while. It's my Carnotaurus. This is the old metal Carnotaurus, so, you know, this is from Dark Haven. And I recently got some resin miniatures. Another set of resin, if you've seen any of my other videos. These ones are some other dinosaur, different styles and creatures. Some of them are a little off. There's one Reaper Bones, and there's a Warhammer miniature here. So, you know, that's what we got. So they were from a... Oh, hold on, I actually got the card for it right here. It was from Game On 3D Prints at Etsy.com. That's where I went, is Etsy. That's the company I ordered from. So their sizing was a little off. So these dinosaurs are going to be a little different. We have a large class Carnotaurus, smaller than an Allo, but still in the same size class. We have what was supposed to be an Edmontosaurus, but I decided to paint it and turn it into a Maiasaura, which is a large class herbivore. Because Edmontosaurus is bigger, but it was just too small for me to claim it was an Edmontosaurus. So I gave him that nice tail striping I've seen. Honestly, I will be honest, I had a little inspiration from the Isle, because I loved the tail striping they did on the Maiasaur. And this looks just like a Maiasaur, so it will work as an Edmonto or a Maiasaur. If it was bigger, it would have been a great Edmontosaurus. I'll be honest, it would have been awesome. Fortunately, though, my printing guy was a little off. I'd say around like 2 of my miniatures out of the ones I ordered came in a proper sizing. Because here is the large class Pachycephalosaurus, and indeed it is large class. So, you know, nice, the famous hardhead himself. And those nice metallic coppery eyes that reptiles have. I gave him a nice brown color because I made him more of like a darker creature. A couple stones here he's standing on. I flock the bases of my dinosaurs now because I just love them. We'll pick it out. I gave him a little bit of that like a ruddish red or dirtier red head. And a little bit of some drake tooth in the back there. Really nice. I mean, he looks like he could stand his own. Next up, we have what was supposed to be an Allosaur. As you can see, it was not. Did not turn out that way. So I'm probably going to use this as something like a Nanotyrannus, or maybe a juvenile Tyrannosaurus, something like that. So that size. Since T-Rex is a huge class, maybe this will be like a baby, or not even subadult, because even subadults are probably huge, since they're almost fully grown. And I'd say this would probably be like an infant or juvenile Tyrannosaur. Maybe use it as Nanotyrannus, which is as big as the juveniles, since Nanotyrannus was called Nanotyrannus for a good reason. There we go, focus back there. Another misprint size and a little bit alterational one. I had to change that was supposed to be Allo. This is the one that was actually Allosaurus size. My Ceratosaurus, and which I had to change it into an Allosaurus. So not ripping on the guy. I mean, I just shaved off the horn. As you can see, filed down those head horns a little bit. They were too tall. But now they're more of that style of Allosaurus size. So this makes a good Allosaurus. He's got the working hands of an Allo. He's got nice base, nice flock base. I gave him a little red bumping there, a little red ending on the back. You know, he looks pretty good for a nice, good Allosaur. Nice little dermal ridge around his back there for a nice back ridge. And then we have my Suko. This is probably the only one one of the only 2 that actually came in pretty much acceptable sizing. And I gave him a little bit of bluish gray, just like because I thought, you know, since these guys like to be in water, they stand in it, he'd be a cool water monster maybe to throw at a group. Like, oh, why is he here? Well, he was fishing along the river till you showed up and disturbed him. And, you know, humans are in a smaller class than him. He would definitely probably say, I ain't going to turn my nose up at that. I'll snap you guys up and turn you into poop later. Haha. You know, a jerk monster. Definitely competitor to the Allosaur. Other dinosaurs would probably back off until T-Rex showed up and scared them all to death. Next, we have the Reaper Bones miniature, which is reptilian. It is my Hydra. This is the older Reaper Bones Hydra in case they ever do a new one. I gave him like a bronze belly just so I could use bronze. Gave him some nice spikes there. I like how he did with his eyes there. As you can see, they have that like orange dot within a black eye. I just thought it would be different since these guys are monstrosities. Gave him a purple mouth with some teeth. You know, he glued in beautiful. I didn't have to use any green stuff or any gaps, which is always good. Got his arms glued down. As you can see, I even flocked his base. There's a couple of skulls on there, since these things did eat humanoids. You know, very nice detail in this bad boy. I mean, you know, I made him more reptilian colored, and then I gave him a glossing on top after I enamel coated him so he'd still be glossy. Let's put my Carno there. The Carno, like I said, I've had him done for a while, but, you know, I want to show him off to size compare. Even though these aren't perfect, they're going to work out beautifully. And here's the Warhammer miniature. It's one of those Tyranids that actually recently, I don't know how old they are, but like the Tyranid Carfax. I know his 2 arms aren't on the back yet. That's because I haven't attached them because I don't know if I want to, because I'm going to use them for D&D. I'll probably attach them, but I really like how he came painted like this. The only parts I did are those little blue strikes there in the veins, and then the claws underneath the back carapace. Those were me. Everything else was already done though when I got him. The base itself, though, I flocked. Put a couple Citadel skulls there. Let's see, I think I put some over here. Didn't I? Yeah, I put one by the rock. Yeah. So really cool. He would make a nice, huge class creature to scare off dinosaurs even, or other creatures. And honestly, that's all I got here, guys. I mean, he'll fit great in the cave, which is awesome. I can slide him in there quick. Yeah, he's a cool cave creature, as you can see. Let me just move my camera. There we go. As you see, he fits in the cave beautifully. Be a nice cave creature for your group to come across. And that's all I got to show you today, guys. Stay tuned for any videos in the future. If you want to check out our podcast or use these miniatures, it is the Dice and Dummies. We definitely love to get more subscribers, guys. And do leave us a review. We always love to hear reviews. Even if there are questions in a review, that's fine. We love hearing from our fans in general. If they have ideas or if they want to just throw out names and maybe say, hey, could you make a character named Bob the Wizard? I might make a character named Bob the Wizard who'll show up as just an NPC in the game for just a little shout out. And maybe I'll say the guy's name as a shout out to you for thinking of the idea. You know, I'm easy that way. But also, get a hold of me at Twitter at 01Berserker if you want to talk to me personally about the podcast or anything else even. If you want to direct message me myself. And I think that's all I got for you today, guys. Bye-bye. And signing off.